Hey everybody, it is TorontoUnicorn outside of Oasis Aqualounge on a very busy DTF night. That is a down to fuck night. It is a very busy theme, multiple men on some women. There are certain terms for this that will get me in trouble on YouTube, but you can look them up. I am here as an orgy director. I was contacted by a female fan on my fan page who was here to have a special night tonight, and I put it on my calendar. The date has come. I've never met her, so I'm about to walk in and offer my services to a very nice female fan who's here to live it up. So wearing my orgy director top and a cute little skirty thing, and I am here to get the job done. All right, let's go to DTF night. Hey everybody, I am here with a very special guest. This is Tanya. Hello.
Hello.
So luckily I met her tonight after she invited me to come and help her with her fantasy scene. It was her very first night at DTF, first night inside this club tonight, right?
Exactly, first time.
Now you wouldn't know it after I saw what I just saw. But that's because she reached out to me in advance. We talked that she wanted to have this great experience. She was ready for it. And so we met today, right?
Yes, we did.
We had our good conversation. At one point, I had to cut some guy off in the pool who kept asking irrelevant questions.
I was like, what are you talking about?
Oh, I'm so good at that, though, cutting that shit down. I'm like, you're wasting our time.
It's like, I don't want to talk about that.
I turn around. I'm like, so our condoms required? Like, I just kept on going. So what was it like to come and have your very first multiple men experience tonight?
I think it was amazing. First of all, meeting you was, I think I felt that I understood you and we had kind of the same wavelength and thinking,
right.
And I think that came across, and that I picked up. We met and we had good conversation and it was great and what I wanted, and I don't think it could have gone any better. It was pretty great, yeah.
A couple guys slipped holes.
Yes,
and you're like, oh no anal. They're like, is that anal? But that was the only thing.
Yeah, I mean, but I will actually say it may have been a slip, but it was like something I want to. So it was maybe the starting of it, but I just wanted to know beforehand.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a hard no, but it was just like, no, I don't want to do that right now. I want to do other things.
And when she told me her ideals, I was so excited because she's like, I love to suck D. Now I'm on YouTube. I talk a little differently on YouTube.
Yeah.
She has agreed to a podcast interview where we can talk like big girls and use the big girl words. So you're gonna have to stay tuned for that. I'll connect with you. We'll do a Zoom thing after.
Yeah.
But tonight you had multiple men. You had a D in your mouth. You had D in your behind you. Guys were coming in. I was giving them the play. I'm like, you can do this. Don't do this. And how was it? What was it like for you?
It was really great because it took out me having to do all that. I could hear you, but you weren't the focus, and I knew I told you what I wanted, and I had complete trust and faith that you were going to fulfill that, so I didn't have any worries about that, so I could just focus on what I was looking for.
Right.
I had multiple in my
You got cock drunk tonight.
I certainly did. All different, and so I think it was great, and it's met all my expectations. I set high expectations, but I'm also cautious about that, but I think I met it and surpassed it, yeah.
And it's not often I show up to a DTF night ever lately, and so when she reached out to me and she had given me a long enough description of why I should care, right?
Yeah.
And I remember like mentally making a note of the date, and then as the date got closer, I was like, I do want to do this, I want to go and whip out the orgy director top again. So,
and I did see that, and it was suggested to me just, and it was a shot in the dark, and I thought at the very least, was something to read, because there is some backstory. Maybe we'll get into that. So when you reached out to me and I saw it on, I was like, oh,
it's on now.
It's on. It was like, it's gonna happen. So it was a great experience. Yeah.
So you came in a DTF rookie, and now you've had your first gangbang, right?
Yeah.
You had multiple men turnover. So I think it was like 6 or 7 guys ultimately ended up having, hooking up with you in the. Yeah. I'm trying out on YouTube again.
Yeah,
you got to
YouTube,
come to the podcast.
Yeah.
But that was a first. That was first for you. It was a first for me in a long time. I haven't run an orgy scene or gangbang scene in many months, and it's because I've learned it's a phase for women. They come, they have all these great, big, grandiose experiences, and then they knock it off their list, and in a way, they just move on.
No, you gotta do it again.
I know, but then after a couple months, eventually you're like, well, what's next?
Yeah.
And so that's what I've noticed, and so I've run out of, people who are women who I care about, who I know, who want to be underneath a pile of men.
Yeah, I would say definitely this is not a first time, and it's not a first and last. It's not one and done. Let's say that.
Especially not what I saw. You were pretty skilled up there. You had some. I saw a man have an orgasm where I thought he was gonna leave his body. He was like it was just his body was just.
I could feel it. I was
right?
like, and I think that's the one I turned around because I needed to see.
Yeah.
Because I was seeing lots of things, but I needed to get a visual because it was like.
He was hot too.
Oh yeah.
Nice body too. I mean, I was sitting over there sweating a little bit. So I'm so glad you had a good experience.
Yeah, I did. I just want to say thank you. If you'd asked me back in April when I've done this, nope. But here I'm now, and it's like, and I've always been positive about sex, but just seeing what there's so much more. So I will certainly, there's so much more. And I think there's a lot more to experience. Maybe I was a little late to the game, but I'm here now. Yeah.
Any advice for a first timer, a woman coming in here who wants to fulfill a fantasy?
Come do it, even if you're nervous and your stomach is doing flip flops. Just everyone was very positive and welcoming. I'm not a very social person to walk into a room full of people that I don't know, but everyone, right from standing up in line, because I had to stand in line, the security, and everyone was just very welcoming. So it took that part. That was the one I was more concerned with.
You were going to be in great hands. I saw her in the hands of a nice, very lovely aqua flirt, a staff member at Oasis, right up front, and that is how you're treated here. You're treated very nicely.
Because I made sure when I came in, someone will show me around, because that was the other thing. I was like, we'll get someone for you. I was okay, so I knew I was in safe hands. So I will certainly say do it, even if it's outside your comfort level, to do that, but you'll have a great time. As soon as I came up to the line, and they said, is this your first time?
Well, you coming out an experienced woman now, someone who could give advice to someone else, so I can't wait to talk in depth about your experience, give you a night to sleep on it maybe.
Yes, please.
All right, now we're gonna go in. Now you've already accomplished your fantasy, so there's a lot of hours still.
Yes, I know.
You could have fantasy 2.0.
And then we could maybe talk about that,
and then go for a shawarma, or whatever. This is what it's like at Oasis. You can get your fantasies fulfilled and then go get good food and just relish it all in. So.
And I think that's something, realizing, I lived in the city many years ago, but there's things that you can still do. It's late, but it's not late. You know? So there's lots to do, and I'm looking forward to it. So I need to not digest it. It was fantastic, but also just to put it all into perspective.
You're gonna process this for days. You're gonna be like, did I just
do that?
Why is my wrist sore? Why are my knees sore? Oh yeah.
So it was great. So thank you. I will just have to say it was nice meeting you, and I think what I was thinking, I was going to get from it, and actually meeting you, I was hoping that we would connect. But I think
great.
Also that I'm open. That I think that's.
And you reached out to me with a heartfelt reach out, and that's what mattered. That's what stood out.
Yeah, and that's something that I said as well. It was genuine. This is what and I wasn't looking for anything from you. I was just sharing, and if anything, just to hear that, and go, oh, there is someone else. There's someone else that's come in here. Yeah. So that's where I was coming from.
And I'm honored you trusted me. So let's go finish the party.
Yes.
All right.
I needed to.
All right, hey guys, it is 12:30. I am leaving. I was here actually with Elle, who has been on this channel many times, and I was waiting for her. She was not expecting to have a crazy night, and then I went and happened to look in the red room under a pile of people, and there she was, having a different night than she ever expected. So this night is magical for so many reasons. I got to help for the first time in many months a girl have a fantasy fulfilled, and I got to wear my orgy director top and pull it out of storage and see the look in people's eyes that felt included and invited and overall had a good experience. So I can't wait to talk about this in detail, so much detail that I would get in trouble on YouTube. Of course, you're gonna have to come to my podcast so that you can hear all the details in full. And that's another DTF night in the books. But I did run a gangbang, and I had a very enthusiastic and willing queen, I will call it, and it was a thrill. So I was so honored, and I can't wait to fill you in on all the details.
It was pretty spectacular, I will say. It was everything that I was hoping for, and the guy that had quite the orgasm, his reaction, it was like, okay, it's like, this was pretty good.
I gotta show you with my body. So this,
Okay.
it was literally like It was just like, he was like an exorcism, like coming out of him. He was really like profound with his orgasm. He was wearing essentially a ski mask with some holes. And again, if you are not steeped into BDSM or the kink world, you might have never seen one of these. And I did not want you to look up in your first bag and see.
So thank you for filling me in about the mask, because I've been like, what the hell was that?
Yeah. I would actually love to help you again if you're interested on if you have a bukkake fantasy. Because
that's funny. That is so funny that you say that, because hell to the fuck yes. It's like,
yes,
that is the next thing that, you know.
This has been a short preview suitable for YouTube of my full 60-minute interview with Tanya straight off of our DTF night at Oasis. You can get the full episode for free on episode 65 of my Sex and Swinging with TorontoUnicorn podcast. Don't forget to subscribe.